All right, so today we're going deep on Britney Spears' memoir, The Woman in Me.
Ooh, this will be good.
It's a really fascinating read. And, you know,
Everyone knows Britney
of
Spears.
course, yes, she's a global icon,
Yeah.
but this is, straight from her, in her own
It's
words.
her story, unfiltered.
Exactly, and that's what makes this deep dive so interesting.
We're getting the behind the scenes look at, all the fame, all the drama.
And the conservatorship,
Oh, yeah. Can't forget that.
13 years.
Yeah. Huge part of her life.
So let's start at the beginning.
Okay, back to the beginning.
So, small town girl, right?
Louisiana.
Kentwood, Louisiana.
Yeah. I think everyone kind of knows that story, though, right?
Yeah, but the book, it goes deeper,
Deeper than. Baby, one more time.
way deeper.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
She talks about what it was like to become super famous, like overnight,
At like, what, 16?
17?
Yeah, she was so young.
And then, oops. Did it again, just blew up even more.
Oh, yeah, that was huge. That cemented her place, like right at the top. So the book talks about that.
It does. She talks about how overwhelming it was, like being hit by a tidal wave.
I can't even imagine that kind of pressure and scrutiny so young.
And that's even before we get to the conservatorship,
Right, the conservatorship.
which controlled her life for over a decade.
For people who maybe aren't as familiar with that.
Yeah, so basically a conservatorship, it's a legal thing where someone else gets control over,
Your life,
yeah, like all of it.
career, finances, even like personal decisions.
Exactly. In this case, it was her father, Jamie Spears.
Right, and so the book really digs into that power dynamic, right?
Absolutely.
Brittany feeling trapped, feeling powerless.
She actually uses the word puppet at one point.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty intense, and she talks about how hard it was to fight back.
I mean, the legal system, right? It can be so complicated to navigate
Especially when it comes to something like this.
with such high stakes.
Exactly. And on top of all that, she's also trying to navigate her personal life.
Marriages, relationships,
Kids. She has 2 sons with Kevin Federline.
right? All under the watchful eye of the media.
It's a lot for anyone to handle, let alone someone already going through what she was.
And then the breakup with Justin Timberlake.
Oh, yeah, that was...
Handle it everywhere.
And she doesn't shy away from how much that hurt, how public it all was.
Right, like a very raw, vulnerable part of the book.
Definitely. And I think it reminds us that even celebrities, they're human.
They have feelings, they go through heartbreak just like everyone else.
But in her case, the whole world is watching.
Yeah, that adds another layer of...
Pressure, complexity.
Absolutely. So with all of this going on, that's when we see her fight for freedom really take shape.
The hashtag Free Britney movement.
Right, like the power of fans coming together
They really amplified her voice.
and help bring about the end of the conservatorship eventually.
It's such a powerful example of collective action.
Yeah, speaking out, making a difference.
And one of the things that's so present throughout the book is music.
Of course. I mean, it's Britney.
But it's more than just her career. It's like a lifeline
Yeah, a way to connect with her fans.
and to express herself.
So the woman in me, it gives us this like multi-dimensional view of Britney Spears.
Beyond the headlines, beyond the pop star image,
What are some of the biggest things that stuck with you after reading it?
honestly, the resilience, her strength.
To go through all of that and come out the other side?
Exactly. And to speak her truth so powerfully.
Right, like finding her voice after all those years.
And I think the book also raises some important questions about the pressures on young female celebrity.
Especially back then.
Yeah, in the early 2000s, that level of scrutiny, it's insane.
And the impact it can have on mental health, on someone's life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think for anyone listening, even if you aren't a huge Britney fan,
There's something in here for everyone.
it's a story about freedom, about fighting for what's right, about finding your voice
And just a reminder that behind every icon, there's a human being.
with their own story to tell.
Exactly.
The Woman in Me. It's well worth the read.
Definitely a deep dive into the life of Britney Spears.
And that's our deep dive for today.
Until next time.
See ya.
Bye.